All right, y'all. Come on. This is Narc Abuse No More with your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.O. Rich, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. How you all doing on this lovely Thursday morning? This is August the 15th of 2024. I pray that you all have had a blessed and wonderful week so far, and that the remainder of this week will continue to be stress-free, narcissistic-free, abuse-free. But if not, we're going to be talking about some things in 15 minutes or less. And so I want to just go ahead and get down with it. Today's podcast is coming from verywellmind.com, where you can get this valuable information. So how to identify and cope with emotional abuse. Many people have, they often realize the physical signs of abuse for us, a black eye, bruised lip, broken bone, or something of that nature. But abuse comes in various ways, and oftentimes is where someone may not physically hit you, they're emotionally battering you. So we're going to talk about understanding the signs and red flags of emotional abuse, because it deals with your it helps to bring down your self-esteem, and when you have abusive words, when you have someone bullying you emotionally, you remember those girls or those boys even that used to bully the kid on the playground or even in the classroom. Well, some of those people changed from their wicked ways and then others went on to be adult abusers, okay? And they may not be doing it with their fists, but they're doing it with their mouth. And so therefore emotional abuse can have a devastating effect on a person's self-esteem. You may doubt your reality, you doubt yourself, you might feel trapped, you've been wounded, and so therefore you might have an incapability to just be able to trust people because of the emotional abuse that you might have experienced. So I want to give you some signs that you may be dealing with or have dealt with emotional abuse, because it can cause feelings of worthlessness. It can cause you to be depressed. It can cause a lot of frustration, confusion. It can cause you to have anxiety, even PTSD. So we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So basically, number one of the things that you can understand when you're dealing with emotional abuse is oftentimes there's unrealistic expectations placed upon you. This is a form of abuse, knowing that there's things that you can't meet, because nobody can be everything to everybody, or we may not be the jack of all trades, but the thing is that person that's abusing you has unrealistic expectations. So they might demand more of your time than what you have to give. They're always criticizing you for not being able to do all the tasks, the jobs, and everything that they have placed upon you. They are demanding of you when you are not able to meet those demands. They expect you to put everything aside just to meet their demands. And so therefore this is a form of emotional abuse by giving unrealistic expectations. Another thing is this person invalidates you, and so therefore they undermine the things that you do. Okay, so you're never good enough. You will never be good enough. They're always gonna make you feel as if someone is better than you. They dismiss your wants, your needs, your desires, because it's all about them. They accuse you of being selfish and needy when it's actually that person. So this is another form of abuse. Another thing is they oftentimes create chaos. It's always drama when you're dealing with emotional abusers. They just like to argue just for the sake of arguing. They have mood changes. 1 minute is up, 1 minute is down. You just never know what kind of bag that they're gonna come out of. They nitpick at you, what you wear, or how you look, your job, or whatever case may be. They nitpick. They always find something to nitpick at you. You might feel like you're always walking on eggshells around this particular person. Why? Because this is a drama king or a drama queen. They're always creating chaos. So this is another sign of you might be in an emotionally abusive relationship, whether that's an intimate relationship or if it's supposed to be a friendship. And I put supposed because good friends don't emotionally abuse their friends. Another thing is they will use emotional blackmail. So therefore they will manipulate and control you by trying to make you feel guilty when you don't jump to their every demand. They will humiliate you in private and or in public. They try to exaggerate your flaws, and they always see flaws in you, but they never look at the flaws that's within themselves. They would deny that something they did ever took place. Okay, so that's part of their manipulation, lying and acting and actually gaslighting you. They will give you the silent treatment just because they think that they're trying to have a one up on you, or they oftentimes, when you get these emotional abusers, they'll try to say, well, we're giving you it's a word for it. It's called love, hard love. When actually they just loving themselves because they don't know what love means. They can't give something that they don't even know and understand what it means. Another thing is these type of people, they will use emotional blackmail. So they manipulate you by controlling you, trying to make you feel guilty, putting you on a guilt trip. Again, they will use your fears. They will use your insecurities. And this is why you have to be very careful when you give them any type of information, because whatever they use, whatever you give them, they will use it against you. As you all know who have been following me for a long time, I read you your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you will say can and will be used against you in the court of the narcissist. Okay, so these emotional abusers, you want to make sure that you do not give them any ammunition to use against you, because they will definitely do it. They will hold your mistakes against you. And the thing is, we've all made mistakes, but they want to use it as a way of emotional blackmail. Another thing is they act like they're better than you are. So they blame you for your shortcomings, your mistakes. They make jokes at your expense. They talk down to you. They use sarcasm when in contact with you. They treat you as if you are the little peon, and therefore they're the big person. They doubt everything you say and try to prove you wrong. This is another way of acting superior, and this is another form of, or another tactic up under the umbrella of emotional abuse. Another thing what they do is they will try to control and isolate you. So they control you by trying to keep you away from friends and family or any support system that you may have. They will take your keys or hide them away from you. They criticize or make fun of you in front of others. They are very oftentimes jealous jealous and envious of you, and so therefore that's another way of trying to keep you away from others, and therefore another method of controlling you. They do not treat you as if you're an individual. They treat you as if you are their property. So you are nothing to them but just time that they want, or if should they want to spend with you just for their own benefit. So some types of emotional abuse, this is something to really pay attention to, so that you will know that you are being abused. Because if you don't know what it is, then you don't know how to prevent yourself from being victimized by these type of people. Accusations. They accuse you of everything. They're very accusatory. You may not have given them any reason to be jealous or anything, but they will accuse you of things, and sometimes they will accuse you of the very thing that they're doing themselves. They are constantly arguing. They're very argumentative. So if you find yourself always in an argument with this person over nothing, this is an emotional abuser. They always criticize you. They criticize you for the least little thing. They try to gaslight you to make you doubt your reality. So you might come to the realization that, hey, I am in an abusive relationship, but they will gaslight you to make you think, oh, well, they're not abusing you. It's your fault for the way that they're acting. They will call you names. They will verbal abuse you in that way. They will refuse to participate in the relationship. So they feel like by controlling the relationship, and this is why you have to be at a point where you're not so desperate for someone's company that you will take anything and everything off of them. For example, someone recently didn't like a post I made. They was like, oh, I'm not going to be your friend on Facebook. And I'm like, so whoop-de-doo. I don't care. I've never met you. I've never had a conversation with you. You just another number for as I'm concerned. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. So you have to get to that point where you just don't care when someone even tries to, in that sense, emotionally try to say, I'm going to take away something from you, because then they feel like they can manipulate you in other ways. If they give you the silent treatment, or they try to shame you or blame you, or they withhold affection or attention. These are signs or different types of emotional abuse. They all fall up under the umbrella of emotional abuse. So real fast, we're running out of time, but I want to just go over a few things that you can do when you are dealing with emotional abuse, so you can prevent it from actually damaging you emotionally. Stop blaming yourself. Number one, stop blaming yourself. We all have to take responsibility for our own actions, but one thing you will notice is that when you're dealing with an emotional abuser or narcissist or what have you, they never take responsibility for their actions. So don't blame yourself for what the narcissist or what that abuser does. Another thing you can do is realize that you can't fix an abusive person. A person has to want to change, and if they don't see the need for change, then they're going to continue doing what they do best, being abusive. But you don't have to say, you know what, I gotta be there, I gotta fix them. No one can fix them but Jesus. Okay, so you're not God, you're not Jesus, you're not the Holy Spirit that can give them conviction. They have to take that up with God, with themselves. Okay, establish boundaries with that abuser. So you have to establish your own boundaries and demand that they keep it. And if that person does not want to honor your boundaries, then guess what? You can work on an exit plan out of that relationship. A healthy relationship needs boundaries. That means that if you say that something is unagreeable with you, then that person is not going to push it on you. These are people that actually care. Another thing is make your mental and physical health a priority. That means that you can't be everything to everyone. And if there's something that you can't do, be able to say no. You go to the dictionary, you have a physical dictionary, and put a picture of yourself by the word no. Okay, this doesn't have to be tangible, but it can be psychological, or should I say mental, a mental note in your mind that I have the right to say no. I also have the right to not have to excuse it, or I have the right to not be backed into a corner to feel like I have to defend my reason for saying no. It's okay to say no to others and yes to you. Say no to others and yes to God, okay? Because we always want to give God that yes. But outside of God, you have to decide what your boundaries are with other people. Last but not least, build a support group. It is so important to have people that will support you. And when you have those that support you, you will be that much better and able to thrive. This is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, helping you to admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. Until next time.